Hello everyone and welcome back to my show, The Interview. I'm your host, Susan Lee MacDonald. Korea is a beautiful country with 4 very distinct seasons, and to take advantage of the incredible fall foliage is to your advantage, especially if you're sightseeing. Today's guest is In-jae. He's a relatively young CEO of a pedicab company. It's a new way to tour Seoul, and it's a great way to take advantage of all the historic and cultural sites. I hope that you're going to get a chance to stay with me for the interview because In-jae has some great ideas of how people should be taking a look at this beautiful city. So join me for the interview. In-jae Lee has brought back rickshaws to downtown Seoul 60 years after their gradual disappearance. After graduating middle school in Korea, he began studying in America, where he graduated from one of the top-ranking schools, Wesleyan. He is now serving as a cultural ambassador in Bukchon, giving an insight into history and culture. Recently, he won the top prize at a contest hosted by the Korea Tourism Organization and brought wider attention to his pedicab business that had been unfamiliar to Korean citizens. Get ready to meet In-jae Lee, the founder of Artee Pedicab, who presents his customers with new memories by delving into the past.
Hi.
So nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you too. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm so excited to learn all about this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. But first of all, this is, what do you call it, a pedicab?
Yeah, pedicab
Uh-huh.
or bike, tricycle.
Yeah, like a bike rickshaw kind
Yeah,
of thing?
bike rickshaw.
Very cool. Wow. Tell me all about your pedicab. This looks like it's a lot of fun to ride. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a pedal-powered bike. We take care of people.
Yeah.
We bike around downtown Seoul, carrying people here to there and giving tours.
That's so cool. So is this just like a regular bike, or are there some modifications that you've done here?
It's a regular bike. It's
Yeah.
a big seat, pretty much. There's I don't know. We got a bell.
Oh, that's cute.
we got gear changers like any other bike,
Okay.
and we have hydraulic brakes so that you need good brakes. So for each rear wheel.
Very cool. So it seems like it's a regular bike, but it's definitely fitted for a cab. It's definitely wider, and you're in traffic with something that's like a bike but not really, and you've got people's lives in your hand, right?
Yeah.
So very important brakes,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And very important for your drivers to be trained.
Yeah, it's extremely important.
Very cool. So with your wonderful training,
Okay.
may I try this, or can you show
sure, I can
me
show
like
you.
what I need to do?
Sure. So I told you the left brake is more important.
Okay.
You can lock it when you don't move.
Okay.
See, it's not moving. Right, now we're gonna do.
Narrowness test.
yeah.
Okay. To see how narrowly I can drive this pedicab through like traffic and whatnot. Okay.
So I'm going to make it narrow every time you pass,
Okay.
and as narrow as you can get at the end.
Got it. All right. So let's see how I qualify
Yeah,
to be one of
sure.
your riders. So I'm just gonna
Wanna-
ride around and then I'll come back
Okay.
this way. Okay. So wish me luck. All right. Yay! Okay, here we go. Yay!
Nice job.
All right, cool. Well, I have a good teacher here in you. Wonderful. So how did I do?
You did well, very well.
I did
For the
okay?
first time, yeah, not
Okay.
bad at all.
So In-jae, thank you so much for the awesome lesson. Now I think our camera crew is getting ready to set up everything for our interview. So let's check out where they have everything set up and
Sure.
go for the interview.
Sure.
Yeah? Okay,
Why don't we
cool.
go?
right.
Please sit.
Yay, I get a ride.
All right. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Probably the best rider in Seoul.
Yeah, I bet. This is lots of fun. What a great day to do this. That was just so much fun to learn how to ride the pedicab.
I'm happy that you did.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. So how did I do? From your expert opinion, how was my first time?
I'm not lying, you did very well for the first time.
Really?
Because we have people who've been working here for many months, but in the first time, they weren't as good as you.
Really?
were today.
So do I have a possible career as a pedicab rider?
Yeah, we actually needed some female drivers too.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe for a part-time I can do something like that,
Come by on the weekend.
So tell me about your company a little bit more now. How many people would you say you have as customers on like a weekly basis?
Weekly? 900 people as customers.
Really?
Sometimes when we are short, low, 500. But on a good day, one bike usually gets about 10 teams more.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot, yeah?
That's a lot.
So how do people find out about you?
This was non-existent. So that's what I was thinking before I was starting. If I do this, this could be something very different from what everybody else has been doing. And I actually doubt myself if this would be possible. Because there's other cars on the road, and I don't know what people would think about it. So I think when I started, it was more like an experiment that I wanted to try. So we only had 2 bikes, and I wanted to see what's going to happen. So I wouldn't call it a business when we were just trying out with 2 bikes last year. I think we did well.
Yeah.
I think we're doing okay. People are generally happy with what we do and acceptable so far.
Is the Artee rickshaw only available in the Buchon village, or is it also available in other places? I know you mentioned earlier that one time you did it in Gangnam and also some other place, but is it only in this area?
Well, those were, first of all, some special events that we do time to time. But we are mainly in Bukchon, but we're pretty much in downtown Seoul, which means we try to be in the 4 old gates of Seoul.
Okay.
But people like to come here more often, so we only have 6 bikes yet so far. So
you must have some pretty good insight into what are some of the better courses to do this kind of pedicab tour. Otherwise, you'd be either in a bus or walking these tours, or in a cab maybe. But what is your most favorite tour to do?
my favorite tour is somewhere quiet and somewhere that people don't know very much about. And more than 80% of time, they never know that, oh, this was Seoul, and we are right in the downtown too. That's when I feel very happy that, okay, I found this secret treasure place for you, and now you know.
What are some of your most favorite places in the Buchon village?
I like very small alleys that nobody can find you unless they have GPS on you. There was this well, this old well where only people from palace could come and get water. And back then they had like guards protecting the well. Yeah, there's this very small alley that leads up to the well.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just restored it. So it's called Bukchon Umulta.
What's one of the most unusual requests that you've gotten?
Yesterday I had one. This lady who has a little accessory shop, and she had to move her stuff from her old shop. So she asked me a favor if I could help her out with her moving. Moving her stuff with the screwdriving and stuff. I actually didn't want to do it, but...
So you actually helped her to move her accessory store?
Yeah, we're like a moving cart.
Why did you choose you guys instead of a cab or a moving company?
She told me the cab drivers are really picky and they won't really help her. And it's hard to fit her stuff into a car. So our bikes have more open space.
Yes.
Things like a big long mirror or lamp doesn't really fit in the taxi, and taxi drivers, they don't really help out with moving. And she's our neighbor too, so she's been asking to other members, and she asked me yesterday. So
wow. So in addition to tours of the historic and cultural sites,
moving.
you do moving?
Yeah, we do moving.
At least that one time.
Yeah, we do moving. And another time I showed, oh yeah, there was one time somebody wanted to propose for his girlfriend, and he thought maybe it's a good idea to do it on a bike, and we planned it together. So
you were involved in the planning of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we thought it might be fun. The customer, he hit his friends in 3 different places. So each point, if bike goes by, our pedicab goes by, his friend will come up and give coffee. And then the next guy will give like a photo book. And the last person will give flowers. And then I guess the fiancé, the girl knows about it. And then at the end we go on this romantic place, usually at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. when the sunset comes in. And they watch sunset and give the ring.
So In-jae, I'm really curious because you have people from all over the world coming to Seoul as tourists, and a lot of those people will come and have that experience on your pedicab. But if you can't communicate in the same language, how do you take them around and show them what they want to see?
Well, first of all, we have the handle and we know where to go, and we are pretty confident about what we do. So the customers won't say much about where they want to go. But when we want to explain, and if we don't know, we try to use everything out of our brain, you know, because most foreigners here, we have Japanese, Chinese, Southeast Asians, and some other English speakers from the States or Europe. Everyone just try to think every last word of their language skills. Make it happen somehow. We haven't had a big problem with explaining to foreigners.
Do you use a lot of body language too?
Yeah, we had to. Yeah. We had to.
Any particular stories of having to use a lot of body language?
I haven't had a big problem because I speak English okay, and I speak a bit of Chinese and a little bit of Japanese. Not well, but okay to get by.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how everyone else does, but they're okay because we get good feedbacks when the foreign people, when they go back to their country, they send us pictures with smile, or even sometimes they will take us out to dinner or lunch after our ride.
Really? That's
nice.
Yeah,
they do. On the dinner table, that's the bigger problem, because when we are on the bike, somehow we do some magic. But at dinner or lunch, and then we're all quiet. We eat something, tasty.
But there's not a lot of like...
Yeah, conversation.
Yeah.
But we can feel, that they are thankful, and I guess we show them a good time. There's a lot of Japanese people come here are Korean Japanese, like 3rd generation, but they want to come back to their mother country, and a lot of them don't speak Korean. They're actually very happy when they see this old sceneries of Korea, and they would send us messages later. And when I have customers like that, Korean Japanese, I feel sympathy, so I try to be nicer. I shouldn't be, because I should treat everyone same, but I try to do more within my ability.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Japanese customers, and I don't speak much Japanese. I know a few words, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But they still want to get it. I told them, they obviously know that I don't speak much of Japanese, but they still want to have the experience of riding it. So then, yeah, sure, we will go. And then it's funny, it's a lot of hand pointing, and if I have a paper, I try to draw some, this is something. I can write some Chinese characters, and at the end they are happy, and sometimes they will ask somebody who can speak Japanese later, and they will text us or email us back, and with the picture. And I think there's a common language that all human on earth can exchange, even though they don't share same language. And
I'm sure that you've had some really memorable customers in the year and change that you've had this business. I'm curious about any particularly interesting incident that you might have had, or some of the people that you worked with have had.
yeah, many. It's been a year and 4 months so far, I think. It felt like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, it felt really long. So much happened. I met so many people, and really so many meaningful, memorable moments. And one of the first person that I still remember very much was, she made the first reservation that we ever had.
Oh.
We had little business cards with my cell phone number on and an email. We gave them a very short tour on our very second day. They were a family from Switzerland, but they were Koreans. And they maybe had 10-15 minutes of a tour, and then they were very generous on their tips. A few days later, we got an email from them that, so it was 4 people, and it was like 2 moms and two daughters, and one of the daughters was having a birthday next day. So her mom contacted us a day before that if we can prepare our bike for her birthday. They want something more than just what they had before, so we made this course for an hour. We decorated the bike with a lot of balloons, special balloons.
Fun. Wow.
We had this happy birthday banner on. She wasn't a Korean speaker, so we invited our English-speaking friends to birthday dinner. I remember her mom told me after she handed me the bill that she felt very thankful. They were gonna call a limo, but instead they called us.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
nice.
so we bid limo.
Wow.
Yeah, on our first week. And she and her daughter always gets into fight very often, especially when they move, because they are stuck in this one space together in a cab or a subway or in a bus, and they would argue all the time. And when she was on the bike with her, those were the time they didn't have to argue and be happy and enjoy. And that's why she chose us again. Yeah.
How does that feel when you have such thankful and grateful customers?
I think that's what keeps us driving more and more. When they feel happy, it's so much easier to bike. And when you come back home, come back to garage, when you park your garage, you feel like you're living, you feel like you've done something great for the day. And that's what kept us going on and on.
That's really great that that you're not just motivated by profit alone, but that you seem to get a lot of joy from other people enjoying what you also started with quite a passion. You know, are there any other incidents that you recall that really moved your heart?
There was one. There's one lady. She's our big godmother of Bukchon. And I remember meeting her for the first time. So there's this small alley that I go by almost every day. And one day she just flagging us down, asking us, you know, hey, what's going on? What is this, you know? And I explained to her, you know, this is a bike. You can sit, and I will take you around. So she invited her neighbor and a baby, and we rode about an hour. And she tipped me, and then so much fun. She was laughing the whole time. She was saying hello. She felt like I was a queen. And I went by again, and she is running a restaurant, so she invites me to dinner. And she was like, anytime, please feel free to come for water or anything. So, and I did. We get closer, and she'd invite her customer to my bike, and sometimes she pays for it. Many times.
Really? Wow.
And that really helped us in the beginning to start this business going. And there's a picture of our bike in her restaurant, people will ask her, what's that? And she'll call me, and why don't you try? And at her restaurant, it's a very cultural restaurant, so a lot of celebrities or artists or movie makers come. And
What type of food does she serve there?
she has, it's also very unique food. She has traditional Korean bibimbap, tteokguk, but in her style, she has her own style of food that you're not gonna find anywhere in Korea. So she has her regulars, and one of the regular came. She's actually a play actress. She's an actress, and she really liked it. And she happened to sleep over at her friend's house, who was also quite a bit celebrity. Her name is Oh Young-sim.
Okay.
And then she listened to her friend's story, and she thought it was interesting. Next day, she invited me and my friend to her concert, small concert. And
Very cool.
she let us introduce ourselves almost half the time of her show. And we were able to hand out our cards to hundreds of people, and then I think that was a big turning point for us.
Wow. It seems like not only are you interested in doing kind of the pedicab business, but you also have a special performance that's coming up. What's that about?
We were able to meet these artists who like to play music, and we invited them on our bike because you get more attention if you're on this bike. So we organized this moving concert. So we had this rather unknown but very skilled musicians on our bike, and we'll do this moving concert. So we'll move very slow to Insadong, Bukchon areas where there are a lot of people. And there was drum player on side, and there's another guy playing ukulele and singing. We did that in June, July.
We caught In-jae Lee going through the busy streets of Seoul in his pretty blue pedicab, just as we had expected.
안녕하세요.
It's not unusual for him to talk to strangers and greet them with his friendly smile.
Hello. How are you? We usually do an hour tour around Buchon.
How much?
We do an hour tour is 25,000 won per person. So it will be 50,000 won for two people.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, sure. Okay, please have fun.
His Artee Pedicab isn't simply a means of transportation. It provides a fun and memorable experience to the riders while they learn about the history and culture of Korea.
Have you guys been around this area of Bukchon before?
No.
We had like a 10-minute walk before this, but yeah, we didn't really see much.
Oh, cool. So this area is called Bukchon. This was the center of old Seoul. But the new Seoul is a lot bigger. It's not really center anymore. Traditional Korean style house. Everywhere, hanok. Yeah, the hanok.
In-jae Lee learned about those secrets of Buchon from those who had lived there for decades and is now sharing with many others who hop onto his pedicab.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Trees are amazing.
We're gonna turn around and take your picture. Can you come out a little bit? It's kinda, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's one palace. Maybe you went there yesterday, right? There's another one over there.
He doesn't miss a single detail, especially when he's with foreign tourists, to make sure they take home a lot of memories of Korea. His bright smile and energy put his customers at ease every time.
Just the palace on that side, and the stream. They had the Lantern Festival.
Yeah,
We went to see. That was nice.
A lot of people, right?
Massive queue. Yeah, like 20 minutes we queued. That was good. Yeah, I see everyone has a nice car here.
Okay, this is a highlight of Bukchon, and I'm gonna let you walk.
Yes.
And I will meet you on the top, and maybe you can take pictures on the way.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
perfect.
All right. See you up there.
See you there. Have a good cycle.
Thanks.
That was all newly renovated.
The couple walked up the hill slowly, capturing the picturesque scenery of the traditional Korean houses in their minds and on film.
How did you like it?
Fantastic. Very steep.
You should turn around, take a look.
Nice view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you take a picture?
Sure, of course. 1, 2, 3.
How do they feel about their tour guide and the pedicab?
It was fantastic. A really nice experience.
I recommend you to walk around.
We would explore.
Yeah, explore.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Had a good time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
It was great.
He's very friendly professional services for us. It was easy decision to jump in the bike.
I think it was very comfortable, and it was really nice that he gave us a little bit of information at every spot he stopped.
And I think we'll miss him very much.
I want to find out about how you came up with the idea to do this pedicab kind of bike rickshaw business in Korea, because this has not been done before in Korea, in modern times anyway. So how did you come up with the idea, In-jae?
So when I was in college, actually I'll tell you the original story.
Okay.
There was one time, I don't know exactly, but sometime in college I liked this girl. And she had a sister, very young sister, who was handicapped. The family came to campus one day, and then I gave the younger sister, who was handicapped on a wheelchair, a ride. I tied my bike to her wheelchair, and somehow we rode around campus. And our campus is quite pretty.
And you went to Wesleyan, yes?
Wesleyan in Connecticut. And if you're on a car, you don't get to see the campus. So we rode on a bike slowly. And she really liked it.
Wow.
And I actually did that for the girl to impress. But I had a good time. At the end, I was very happy to see the younger sister that was there. And then my best friend from high school has been telling me about this pedicab that he's been doing in Boston.
Yeah, I remember when I was in Boston, I've seen a couple people do
Yeah.
pedicab stuff. Yeah.
I decided to try for one summer
In Boston?
in Boston.
Okay.
And I had an amazing time. I had a lot of fun. You meet a lot of people. And I actually got an interview through Pedicab one time too, for some other job. So that was very interesting. And that was and then I came back home, Korea, and I got a job.
And you were working in finance at the time?
Yes, I was. Maybe 6 months, 8 months after I got my first job out of college, I got used to it. I mean, it was okay. My job was pretty good. I have no complaints. But my office is right in the downtown, near City Hall. And at City Hall, you can see Deoksugung. And they do like a doorman change ceremonies and stuff. And I get to hear the music, the Korean Pungmul music. And that was when maybe pedicab could be good, because there's a little alley that leads to Jongno.
Yes.
And it's quite pretty there. It's very famous dating course.
Yes.
So that was in my mind. And then I was talking to Vinny, my friend who first introduced me to pedicab.
And he's an American guy?
He's an American guy.
Okay.
And I just threw out, maybe one day maybe we can do this in Seoul. And then a month later, we've been exchanging emails. I wanted to do it before it's too late. And I found out that nobody else was doing it. I told my boss at my finance company, I want to start this, and he didn't understand what it was.
That was your boss's reaction. What was your family's reaction? When you said that you were leaving this cushy financial job, what was their reaction?
I was thinking, because when I was in high school, after they sent me to States for 2 years, 3 years, I told them I wanted to be a fisherman. And they were surprised. So since they know me, I thought it'd be okay. So I kind of hinted them, you know, maybe I could have done this. Maybe I can do this. But I didn't tell them when I left company for about a month. Yeah.
So your parents didn't know that you
Yeah.
left the company?
Yeah. They didn't know. At that time I was living home with my parents. And then, so I had to pretend that I was going to work for about a month.
That's kind of a difficult act to pull off. How did you do that?
I just pretend that I'm really busy in the morning.
And during that month that you were pretending to go to the financial company, what were you actually doing?
So I had another office. I rented an office in somewhere else. So I'd go there, and then I was making a proposal for Yeosu Expo. And then I bought a train ticket. Then I went to Yeosu Expo. I was doing that thing. And so I went to Yeosu Expo. Hey, can you buy me 10 bikes? I will operate it. I think it's a good idea. The expo area's kind of big. Maybe people want it. They didn't buy it. So I came back home. I eventually told my parents because I couldn't lie longer. It'd be too obvious.
Wow.
Oh, and the health insurance, if they look up, there was a mail. It says like, okay, he's out of insurance. I kept that, but I told him later.
Wow. So how did your family feel after you told them the truth?
They didn't like it. I knew it, but I don't think there was anything they could do about it. I mean, I'm 27. I was like 25 at the time, and I mean, I'm a grown-up adult. You know,
Sure.
they shouldn't be able to say something that will change my decision. So we're not very good friends at the moment, but it was okay. It was okay.
So tell me, after you got back from Yeosu, you talked to your family and told them that this is what you want to do, that this is your passion, that you want to start this pedicab rickshaw business, the first one of its kind here in Korea. And then how did you actually get started? What was your process?
I found out that there are a lot of funding opportunities, especially, you know, there was a startup boom, you know, and the government is sponsoring a lot of people. So I applied to one of those, and then with this idea, and it was often rejected. You know, I don't see how it's gonna work. Many places. So okay, and it took me about a month applying to there, here and there, and then it didn't work. So okay, it doesn't cost me $1 million to start this business. You know, you just need a bike, you know, garage maybe. So I decided to start small, just me, and I don't want it to do it alone, it'd be too lonely. So I called my American friends who I've been talking to, Vinny. Vinny came over. He came over in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I told him, hey, let's do it. And he came over. We ordered a bike. Oh, and before that, so we need to get a bike. So
Where did you get
I went
one?
to China. Because China, they make everything. So we visited each factories and we found one that we liked, our partners. And then put an order, and it came.
You've also been savvy enough to enter into certain contests, and you won recently a top prize for the Creative Tourism Contest. And tell me more about that.
Early this year, we were applying to a lot of funding contests because there are a lot of them. And we found this Creative Tourism Contest, and we thought they would fit us. So we just told them what we've done and what we'd like to do and how people like to be on our bikes, and we won. Fortunately, we won.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks very much. So now we get funding from government, and we're actually very happy because that was the first time we felt that we were finally acknowledged by some legitimate institution, and it was government, and that really boosts everyone's motivation to work harder and change things to.
Sure. Well, it must feel like you are kind of legitimized. I mean, of course, you have a proper business and you have the license and all of that, but to have funding directly from the government to kind of acknowledge that you are worthy of being a tour operator and that this is a worthy investment for the government because they see the potential with what you have. That must feel really good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Because everything that we've done, we felt like we're not in the mainstream, So since we've started, we never thought that we're in the mainstream of the business or mainstream of anything. But now since we won this award from government, we're recognized by government and the public, and that gave us more energy to grow this bigger and make it into the mainstream while keeping our non-mainstream spirit.
Yeah. How many customers have you had so far?
We had over about 8,000, more than 8,000 people.
Wow. So when you were in college and that experience, that summer in Boston where you were a rickshaw pedicab driver, really left such an impression that you left your job in finance to be able to do this here in Korea, the first pedicab company in Korea ever. And I imagine that there might have been a lot of great things that have happened in the past year and a half, but also a lot of challenges too. What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced in this business?
So like you said, nobody ever has tried this business here. So when something happens regarding the bike, sometimes people won't fix it for you, or they don't know how to fix it. Then I have to go here, go there, here and there, and it takes me days to fix. And when we had two bikes, if one bike's broken, it's hard for the other person to just go by himself. And during our first days of operating, riding, it was hard to tell people what it was for. And we just didn't know how to get people on the bike or market, promote, charge, how to decide our fares and everything. And so we just had to learn from scratch almost everything. I don't know if you call that tough, but maybe that was because we are doing something that's not written in the book at all. And we are making rules and everything from the ground. And I think that's what people kind of we have had people who were willing to help us because we're so unprofessional in everything. So they want to, okay, this guy just needs some help. I want to see what I can do.
So doing this business for the past year and a half, I'm sure you've had some really great highs, but what have been some of the lows or just even some daily challenges that you might face doing this business?
It could be physically challenging sometimes because you just have too many people and you will burn out. Or sometimes you will meet people that are really mean on the street. Some people just don't like what we do. Not many, but when we do see people, it kind of makes you feel bad or hurt. But we get over it, but it happened. When the weather's not so nice, it could be challenging. We usually don't operate when it pours.
Yeah. I imagine that it could be a little dangerous too on the roads. Yeah.
So we try not to do that. I think the hardest part is to have people, our riders, to have them happy enough to get out frequently and do the ride with the joy. And I think if we are able to do that constantly, then we are gonna be in a good shape.
So I hear that you're trying to establish a rickshaw pedicab system, like something that's similar to a safety manual, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Sure. So we are very conscious of what could possibly happen to us. I mean, we should open all the possibilities, and I think we should try to do our best to prevent what could possibly hurt us. I had a chance to see and learn it from my experience in Boston, and also we looked up other cities' regulations and clause from Europe and the States, and there are very detailed clause. Every city has a little bit different, but
Sure, because there are buses on the road, there are cars, trucks, bicycles, pedestrians, and you're another form of transportation too.
Yes. So we downloaded all of them, and we summarized them and translated, and we gave to the Seoul city government, because we're thinking maybe one day, not just us, but there will be other companies.
As someone who started a business that did not exist in Korea, you're kind of a pioneer of the pedicab rickshaw market here in Korea. And I'm curious what you hope for the pedicab market going forward. Do you plan to expand it further? Do you see that there might be some fierce competition in the future? Because the more and more people find out about it and they know that you're doing well, people will want to step into this business too.
I don't really care about competition or not. There might be, I don't know, who knows. But if we focus on just what we do well, how we're gonna ride with more joy and how we satisfy people that we meet, we decide to focus. So there was one day, everybody sit down, like, why are we doing this? And none of us come here because somebody forced them to. We all came here on our own will, and there must have been some part that we like about this job. And we came down to one realization that we somehow, in some way, contribute to somebody's happiness. Could be our customer, or could be somebody we run by, because we say hi, they will smile. It could be, that could make their day, because that can happen to me too.
Sure.
And if you think that way, things get easier, and they will kind of give you big direction or guideline of our thinking and acts. That's what we're trying to think, but we don't try to think too much about what other people will do or think or that.
In-jae, it sounds like you have overcome a lot of odds to pursuing your dream. You studied abroad for 8 years to do something that seems more professional, in the eyes of modern man, doing something in finance. But you tried that, but you pushed that aside because you wanted to follow your heart, which was to do the pedicab business. And that challenge is not something that I think a lot of people can do, to break out of the normal, typical average course and to do something that's somewhat non-mainstream and unusual. And if you could give advice to people who want to follow their dream and want to go non-mainstream, what kind of advice would you give them? And is there something that maybe someone said to you when you were younger that helped you to choose this path?
I think everyone has interest in something or something that they like to do or haven't tried. And if you really like to follow, so people talk about passion, how you can be passionate about something, then let's say you give a shot, quit your job or you really focus on your passion. And I think it's really hard to keep up. You could start rather easier easily, but I think during the course of the time when you try to break the art and pursue to each stage, it's gonna be tough. I think you're gonna face so many different challenges that will just push you down every time. So I think that's why people talk about passion. If you are really passionate about something, for me about my bike pedicab business, then you need to be able to thank small things in your life. We have one writer whom I recruited in March, and he's become the best writer of all, and he speaks poem toward the end of his ride to all his customers. The poem goes, I think it's a pretty famous poem, goes sing as no one's listening, dance like nobody's watching you, and it goes live as tomorrow's your last day. And if you can somehow manage yourself to think that way, then you would probably want to pursue your dream or passion and continue it.
I love the perspective that you have, because it's not just a job. It sounds like it's what you love to do, and that you find great meaning in what you do. And isn't that, at the end of the day, we want to be able to feel like we're giving back, that we feel like our lives have meaning. And this is a way that you're choosing to find meaning and give meaning to the world. So In-jae, last but not least, what does the Artee Pedicab mean to you?
For me, it's like an island, unattended by anybody yet, and I myself and my colleagues or people with similar minds will come and build things in our own way, the way that he or she wanted to try but haven't been able to. But here in Artee Island, you can make your house in your own way, you can teach music in your own way, and see how it will go. So I don't know how Artee will become. I don't know if we'll be a bike company forever. Might change, but I want it to be a place where you get a shot and try something, because that's what I did too. It shouldn't just be me, but a lot of other people. I hope Artee is a place where you can express or implement imaginations and thoughts into reality, or you don't have to worry about other people's eye or what other people think. I hope we will be able to do that. That's all.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. It seems to me that with your passion and with your can-do spirit, that anything that you put your mind to, you'll be able to do regardless of what the odds are. And whatever you don't know, you'll learn along the way.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for being with me on the interview, and I can't wait to get on to one of your pedicabs again.
Oh, sure.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.